another episode of Mighty Car Mods.
Proudly supported by Just Car Insurance, because they like us and we like them. It's a romance, Martin, isn't it?
There's only one thing better than boost,
And that is more boost.
so today we're going to show you how to install a bleed valve.
And I'm going to keep my eye on you, Martin.
A bleed valve is a simple, reliable and cost-effective way of adjusting boost pressure. It modifies the pressure signal that the wastegate sees, and the more you reduce this pressure signal, the less the wastegate opens and the higher the boost goes. Basically, it makes your car go faster.
This is Mr. Sato
In Hasawikawa.
in Hasawikawa. And usually the smart thing to do when you come to Japan is get a train ticket or rent a car. We thought that was pretty stupid, so we bought one from Mr. Sato here. What did we get, Martin?
We got a Suzuki Alto Works.
Yeah. And Mr. Sato, do you like this car? Good car?
Good.
It's a Suzuki.
Today we're going to be working on a Suzuki Alto Works all-wheel drive K car with a 660cc turbocharged engine.
It's a mad little car, dude.
The first thing we're doing is installing a boost gauge, because when you're upping your boost, you need to know exactly what's going on, or you could risk damaging your engine.
We're mounting our gauge on the A-pillar so the trim comes off so we can get to the metal behind it.
Okay, Marty has just found some Tokyo bondage tape. You may have recognised this from our speaker install video. This is gaff tape that is skin colour, and you know what happens with that.
The hose needs to go through the firewall, so we're using a rubber grommet to stop the vacuum line and wiring rubbing on the body of the car. We're making a small hole for it using a screwdriver, which might help poking it through. Next up, we need to run the end of the vacuum hose to the engine's intake manifold.
Now, boost gauges come with this T-piece, and the idea of these is to step down the tubing from 5mm to 2mm. A boost gauge is only sampling the pressure, so you don't need to run such a thick cable into the car.
Now Suzuki have politely left us a vacuum line on this intake manifold so we can run our vacuum piping through to the inside of the car.
The factory rubber grommet comes off and the T-piece is slotted into place, with the original grommet used on the other side of the T-piece.
Next time you drop a cable tie down into your engine, don't even think about leaving it there, because they always land on something hot, they always melt, and they always stink. Oh man, being under the dash of really small cars is really uncomfortable.
Now the vacuum line is run up from under the dash up to the A-pillar.
Now, as we always say on Mighty Car Mods, before you put everything back together, make sure it works. So we're going to plug it in, start the engine, see how we go. Now here's the fun bit, we finish it off, then we take it into the parking lot back there and see how much boost it's got.
The gauge is screwed securely into the pillar through the trim and aligned. Now it's time to test it properly.
There's a good chance that the guys are filming us, well, their stuff's going to be on YouTube before ours.
Okay, so with the boost gauge in, we can see just how much boost this little Alto's running before we put in our GFB bleed valve and boost it even more.
So, it spikes up to a bar, but it sits on roughly 10 pounds. So I think with our bleed valve, we might be bumping it up to say about 12, which gives us a little bit more go.
Now we have a reference of what the factory boost control system does, it's time to connect up our own.
So these turbo cars basically have a built-in bleed valve system where the ECU controls precisely how much boost it bleeds off. What we're going to do is we're going to bypass that and find out how much boost the turbo itself makes without any interference from the ECU.
Blocking off the factory boost control lines with bolts will cause the turbo to run wastegate pressure. There is usually a safety margin so that if the controller fails, it will only run half as much boost. Time for another test run.
So we figured out that the car runs 9 pounds without the ECU trying to jack up the boost. So what we're going to do is put our own boost control in and see if we can get it up to 12. Dude, the problem is we can do it, we can make it work, but we're running out of light and we don't have the right size boost hose because it's actually buried right up under the engine, and to make it work I need the next size up from this. I think it's 5mm to fit it over, because I can do it if it's like in front of me I could probably make it fit, but I got to do it with pliers.
Okay. Is that good?
Yes! Thank you! Thank you! Yes! Oh dude! Yes! This stuff is actually going to work. It's perfect. It's the exact right size. And that's my bald spot.
じゃあなんでそのホーズが車の中に入ってたんですか？
GTR 持ってるから。
The bleed valve gets inserted in line between the turbo outlet and the wastegate and determines when and how much the gate opens to control the boost level. These bleed valves only work in one direction, so check your instructions. Next, it's a matter of connecting the vacuum lines and mounting the valve. One, two.
Yeah. 13 pounds, dude. 13 pounds,
With another test run, the boost is coming on fast and holding steady at 13 psi, which is a good safe gain. It's time for one more essential modification.
That's going on because Martin is the crab master. We've got some cream for it, but at the moment he's still the crab master.
With the mods finished, it was time to make a move. We drove around Japan for the next week in the Alto works, with Marty always making sure the mods were working.
So there it is, more boost is mad boost. Big thanks to GFB, they're a 100% Australian company. They make some awesome products, check them out, gfb.com.au.
Now if you're planning on running loads more boost, you may need supporting mods to save your engine some damage, and we're going to be covering that in an upcoming episode, so keep your eyeball on mightycarmods.com.
Now if you have carried out mods like this, it pays to check with your insurance company to make sure that you're still covered.
Yeah, because in some cases you won't be covered if you've modified your car. That is, unless of course you're with Just Car Insurance, because they will insure unlimited legal modifications, which is why it's a romance, Martin.
The big news is Season 2 DVD is now out, double disc.
And you know what else is exciting? Our Japan film, also on Blu-ray and DVD. All of this is available at the Mighty Car Mods shop. It's at mightycarmods.com/shop. I'm so excited, not just because of these, but because I have a hot, steaming tofu burger waiting for me back at home. I'm out. Have a good one, man. Tofu madness.
Oh, look at the turning circle. I love it. I love it. Every bit of me loves this mad little car. And I think Moogie's starting to love that STI a bit too much.